Apparently there's a weight limit on love. A content creator that goes by the name, I think Dasia, D-A-S-I-A, is getting a lot of heat online right now for her controversial statements about women deserving love when they lose weight, and that if you are overweight, you don't deserve to be loved. So we're gonna go ahead and get into what she had to say, and I'm gonna give my commentary at the end.
Call it what you want, but I do not believe a woman who is out of shape deserves to be in a relationship. When it comes to love, there are rules one must abide by, and the first one is love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So if you cannot love yourself enough to make sure you are physically fit, emotionally fit, spiritually fit, baby, you are not qualified to love anybody else. Feel how you want. Call it what. Let's be real. A lot of you guys were offended by my video because you are physically unfit. Over 1 billion people are currently considered obese, knowing all the statistics behind living that life. And even though the video did include other aspects of health and fitness, you guys didn't even get to that part because all you heard was physically fit. And because you're not physically fit, it hit a nerve. How you choose to live your life is your business. If you are a man or a woman and you know that you are physically unfit, that you are not in the best shape that you could possibly be in, or if there's room for growth in your life and yet you are able and unwilling, that is a personal choice. You cannot get mad at somebody else because of something you chose to do. So many of you are upset that I quoted the Bible. However, the Bible is the foundation of which I live my life. So if me applying the teachings from my book of faith has allowed me to look how I look physically, and you applying the teachings of your book of faith or lack thereof has allowed you to look how you look physically, I will always apply the teachings from my book of faith. So if you were to ask me again, do I feel that a person who is physically unfit, emotionally unfit, spiritually unfit, mentally unfit, in every aspect deserves to be in a relationship? No, because if we are given free will and we choose to neglect ourselves by personal choice, what do you think you're going to do to another person? Now, that does not mean you're not going to be dating somebody, even though you are neglecting yourself. Because when I was neglecting myself in every aspect of the word, I had a boyfriend at the time. And he lived his life in the same way that I was living my life. So yes, you will attract a person at that same level that you're at. But the overall purpose of that video was to prioritize self-love, whether you're a man or a woman. It does not matter if you're single or you're in a relationship. Self-love is the foundation for every other thing that you love in your life. So feel how you want, say what you want. Yes, I have braces, I could get veneers, but I want a perfect smile and I want the teeth to be mine. Yes, my brows are bushy, I want thicker brows. Yes, I use a filter, I just got done working out. Sometimes my sunscreen sweats off my face. Who cares? How I live my life should not offend you if you are comfortable and confident with how you live your life. Get the message or keep it pushing. Have a good day. If you're constantly triggered by hearing somebody else's thoughts and beliefs, then you're not emotionally healthy enough for social media. There should be no reason why seeing somebody else's post sends you into an emotional tizzy. If you truly believe in what you believe in, then why are you triggered? Truly answer that question. So many of you guys are in my comments explaining why you believe what you believe and trying to convince me to not believe in what I believe in when I don't care. I believe in what I believe in for a reason. So if me sharing my beliefs triggers you, then your belief system is weak. And guess what? I still believe in what I believe in, even after y'all thoughts about how a person who values health and fitness deserves to have their certification revoked, or a person who pushes a healthy lifestyle deserves to be labeled a narcissist. I'll be a narcissist. I'll be whatever, because baby, I enjoy the life that I live. I enjoy the fruits from my belief system. So just know that won't be the first or the last video that offends you. So buckle up. Call it what you want, but I do not believe a woman who is out of shape deserves to be in a relationship. When it comes to love,
baby, be quiet. I have 6 chairs around my dinner table. Pick one and have a seat. How are you going to use scripture to promote your vain way of thinking? Bless your little young, unmarried, never had a baby heart. You're just as pretty as you want to be, and I can tell you probably thought you ate when you posted that video, but sweetie, it's obvious that you need some spiritual protein. I used to think that I knew everything when I was your age too. Boy, I do not miss being that stupid. But keep on living, baby, because you just got here. In the meantime, let mama share some wisdom with you. Being emotionally, physically, and spiritually fit is not always reflected by how you look on the outside, sweetie. It's an inside thing. Besides, I know people twice your size and twice your age that could run circles around you, no doubt. Men do love a pretty face and a tight body, but they will not live with a woman who has an ugly attitude or spirit. You don't get to say who does and who does not deserve to be in a relationship. Unless you're a medical physician, you don't get to say who's in and who's out of shape. Being skinny does not mean you're healthy or attractive. Besides, there are a lot of us who are comfortable in our grown women bodies. While you're making vain videos about how a person should look, we're out here getting degrees, running businesses, and raising families. Lemon. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing lemon. Mama bears who put on a little extra thickness over the years possess a strength that you can't get at the gym, sweetie. It's a maternal instinct that's a danger to be messed with. We possess a wisdom that you have yet to walk into. But you should look forward to it. You can't talk about how other people look when you have diarrhea of the mouth. It's a whole new level of letting yourself go that you will eventually come to understand. You said in one of your videos that there were women who got offended because you stepped on some toes. I think they got in their feels because of your audacity. Because you're another youngin' with an iPhone and a social media account who thinks that you can play God in the lives of others. The videos that you're making right now, sweetie, are not gonna age well for you. I'm talking from experience. I've been humbled by God, and it wasn't fun, girl. This is good. This is coming from a woman who's been happily married for the past 29 years, a wonderful husband, and gorgeous children. I'm not trying to be mean, I promise you. I am saying this out of tough love. But if I stepped on any of your toes, it was because I meant to. With every single ounce and pound of extra fluff. You might catch that one tomorrow.
Okay, I had to show that at the end because mama ate all the way down. When I saw her, I wanted to react to this. Now, for old girl Deja, we're just going to call her Deja because who cares, right? Deja or Dazia, whatever her name is, she contradicted herself all throughout that statement. You could tell she's young, immature, and thinks she knows everything. I mean, a lot of young girls think they know everything at that age. Like, I was once that age, hard-headed, thought I knew everything, and was feeling myself a lot as well. But I didn't say those things. But I'm gonna assess old girl for a second. She said I wasn't just talking about women, I was talking about people in general. No, ma'am, you specifically said women. So you were targeting women, okay? You was going after a specific gender, and you basically was saying that you feel like they don't deserve love. This is what she really was saying. I didn't deserve love until I became perfection. So now I feel like I deserve now, so I'm going to project that on other women to let them know they are not deserving of love or finding love or having someone come into their life and love them for who they are and not always what they look like on the outside, or because they don't have a six-pack that they don't deserve love. She was mixing scripture and she was mixing motivation to push out a certain message. Now, was the message about discipline and taking care of yourself wrong? No, but it's how you say it. And it's not even about your tone or how you say it. It's how you say it with grace. There was no grace there and all ego. That is the problem and why she could not resonate with other women. I want to show an example of a woman who did the work and is the perfect person to speak to women who may be overweight.
Woke up one day and I was like, I don't want to be fat anymore. And I literally like got down to business. And then I was like, I'm gonna go to Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. And Atlanta did me good. My highest weight was like 315. And I never expected, I was a big one. Okay, I was big. Like my postpartum and being in school and just a new mom in general, my high school sweetheart that I have been with my whole high school had got locked up and got 40 years. So the depression behind that, on top of a baby, on top of just life in general, I gained a lot of weight. Like postpartum was real for me. One thing about me, a couple years ago, I had a weight loss journey. So I had to teach myself how to be comfortable in my new body. I would say the weight dropped off about a year and a half, 2 years. And then I would say from there, I got lucky. God kept blessing me.
Well, you look good, girl. You don't look like nothing you've been through.
Okay, so I wanted to show Gorgeous Doll and her transformation and how she shared her weight loss journey with her audience to show like it's possible, you can do it. I've been there, I've been overweight, I know how it feels, I know where my mindset was at. I'm not about to have no woman who ain't had no kids tell me is how to raise my child and what I should do. Because when I was younger and before I became a mother, oh baby, I had all the opinions in the world. I would never do that. I would never do this with my kid. What a tablet. I won't even buy a tablet for my kid. Baby, I will give my child a tablet. What? Where's your tablet? Where is your tablet? Everything that I used to judge people for, I had to eat that as I got older. Life has a funny way of showing you and humbling you to stop being so self-absorbed in your own experience and projecting your judgment on other people and saying, it could never be me, it could never be this. There was no grace in her message. Okay, it was like, feel how you feel. I don't care if you're overweight, you don't deserve love. That's basically what she was saying to women. No ma'am, you feel like you don't deserve love until you are perfect. Point blank period. When people speak, you really have to listen to say, are they speaking to me or are they speaking about themselves? Are they describing their mental health? Because for someone to get on the internet so bold and purposely tell and provoke other women by saying, you know what? I don't want to be inspirational. I want to insult women into losing weight. That's not how it goes. Now, are there content creators who insult you to lose weight? Yes, that is literally their brand. But because she looks the way she looks, she has pretty privilege. She has a great body. She's beautiful. Wrong messenger and how you deliver the message. Okay? On another note, she tries to say, how I live my life is none of your business. Well, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to take some mother effing advice from yourself. How other people live their life is none of your damn business. If she would have got on this internet and said, I feel like I didn't deserve love until I lost the weight because I was mentally unwell, I was mentally unfit, I was mentally undisciplined, then maybe it would have been different. But it was this going on and 3 fingers pointing back to her. Life has a funny way of teaching you. So be careful with your words, because best believe out of experience, you are going to eat those words. A lot of things that I said on this internet right now, I'm like, oh, years ago I said I would never. I used to judge people just as much as she's judging. And I had to, eat that. I never predicted myself in certain situations, but I was in them. And it was a very humbling experience. And it made me more understanding of the human experience. Now, what I will say, what she should have said is that, yes, going to the gym, taking care of yourself, eating healthy, and making better choices for yourself is for yourself. It's called discipline because of so much temptation out there. This should have been for men and women, that when you meet a disciplined person, because going to the gym is not easy, especially under this system, working 9 to 5s, having a family, balancing it all, and then at the end of the day or early in the morning, have the energy enough to go to the gym. I was a gym rat. I know what it takes to get that type of body. I know what it takes and how much discipline it takes and how much effort and constant criticism. Because the more that I went to the gym, I'm gonna be honest, the more I criticized myself, the more I found flaws on myself. People don't talk about the mental load that a lot of people have when they go to the gym. A lot of people who go to the gym because they have mental health issues. And I'm not gonna put it past her. I think she definitely does have mental health issues, and she has self-esteem issues. Gorgeous as she is and as fit as she is, her whole identity is based off of how she looks. She didn't say, when I changed my mind, it changed my body. And when I changed my mind and I changed my body, I was able to change my mental, I was able to change the way I think, I was able to change my emotional state, which caused me to do this self-work to attract someone in my life who actually loves me and sees me the way I see myself and cares about me the way I care about myself. She could have worded that a little better. No, a lot better. Actually, girl, throw the script away, throw it in the trash, and start over at this point. Because that delivery was so immature. And it was very tone deaf. No self-awareness at all. She lacks it. But again, she's young. She's young. She don't know. And she's living with her consequences. She's going to have to live with the consequences of what she says. She's going to either attract a certain audience that like that type of stuff, but she's also going to attract other people that's going to let her know. Now, she did say something in that video where she said, what people say on this internet, you shouldn't be triggered by, you shouldn't be on the internet. Well, everybody's on the internet. It's 2025, baby. Everybody's on the internet. Like, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has something on social media. So you sitting there saying you don't need to be on social media. Yes, there are a lot of people who are doing the self-work, or people who haven't addressed their triggers, or people who are suffering inside, or people who have weight issues, or people who are unhappy, and they are on the internet. So what you put out there, you're gonna offend some people for sure. But you have to have a self-awareness of how you put that out there and how you are saying that and how you presenting that information to not come off as a bitch. Like, let's be honest, she came off as a bitch. Like, there are many I would never probably want her as I can see spiritually something is mentally off with her, to be honest. Just the way she's coming on camera, like, well, you know, and look at my body. Her whole identity is the gym. And I, at one point, became that. Like, I was obsessed with the gym. I was at the gym. I was always obsessed with working out. Nothing was never good enough. Nothing. No matter how many times people told me, you look great. You have a six-pack. Well, I ain't never had no six-pack, but I had a four-pack. But they were like, you have a four-pack. It was not good enough. It was not good enough. It was not good enough. Then you start comparing yourself to other girls in the gym and other people in the gym. Everybody's timing is different. But to say that somebody doesn't deserve to be loved, there are many people out here getting loved on at different weights and different times of their life, or they could meet somebody who's probably at the same weight that they are and they are growing together. I've seen couples lose weight together, get together at one size and lose weight together. So here's the overall message. Just because of how you look on the exterior doesn't mean you've done the true inner work on the inside. I know this from experience. Just because somebody may be overweight doesn't necessarily mean they're not doing the work on themselves. Everyone are at different stages of their life, and many people in society, the main thing that they are missing is grace. Grace for others, but most likely grace for themselves. If you don't have grace for yourself, you're not gonna have grace for other people. And when you don't have grace for yourself and you don't have grace for other people, you're gonna look like old girl. You're gonna be tone deaf. You're gonna be blind to what you're saying and have zero self-awareness of how you're coming off to other people. And is it your responsibility how you come off to other people? No. Yes. Maybe. Depends. This situation right here, yes, there needs to be some sense of self-awareness and a lesson learned in there of there needs to be grace when you're talking to women who probably are going through self-esteem issues, who are probably having low self-worth, who are probably mentally not doing well. Imagine a woman who's not doing mentally well or dealing with self-esteem issues or battling depression come across your freaking content and they see, basically, they're hanging on by a thread and they see you telling them that they do not deserve love. They're not worthy of being loved by anyone. Do you think that that is conducive? Do you know how harmful that is? But you don't care because you lack self-awareness, and you don't really care because you are mentally off. There's a lot of people in the gym that are battling depression, they go to the gym because they're hanging on by a thread. When I was by Lois, I love going to the gym because it definitely helps me get through. But going to the gym is not gonna fix your issues. It's just a Band-Aid. It's just a moment to get rid of the anxiety, to challenge yourself, to help yourself. But a lot of work on the inside still needs to be done. She didn't talk about therapy. She talked about you just needed to get in the gym and everything is gonna get fixed. Good luck, sweetheart. Good luck. All right, y'all let me know y'all thoughts below in the comment section. How do y'all feel about old girl? How do you feel about Mama Bear coming in and checking her? I loved her commentary. That's why I had to, you know, add that in there. Let's go ahead and get this discussion below, and I'm gonna meet y'all in the comment section. Y'all make sure to give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.